Hi, I'm Milton Hom. I'm an optometrist from Azusa, California. Today I'm going to talk to you about Demodex, and I'm going to kind of share with you my personal experiences with the mite called Demodex. You know, in the past, I've always looked at it as a very, very rare condition. So because it's a very, very rare condition, I really didn't concern myself with the mite at all. But, you know, it was kind of like, I don't know, a diagnosis that was more like a last resort diagnosis. In other words, a ocular surface patient would be coming in. You would see them for 1 visit, 2 visits, 3 visits. You keep on trying all these different treatments, and none of the treatments would work. So finally, you would say to yourself, well, maybe, just maybe, it might be Demodex. It was kind of like a Hail Mary type of diagnosis. Well, you know, I was pretty happy in my own little world, not knowing about Demodex, but up until about a year ago, I had a conversation with Scott Schachter at Pismo Beach. And if you know Scott, he always likes to talk about Demodex. When we were talking, I asked him the question, how often do you see the Demodex mite? And the reason why I asked that was because in my mind, I thought it was a very, very rare condition. Well, Scott replied that he saw at least 1 to 2 patients a day that had Demodex. And I was just totally shocked when he told me this. I went ahead, I took a look at what the literature had to say, and they had numbers like 100% prevalence of patients that was age 70 and older. When I saw something like this, it just blew my mind, because how could you have a prevalence of 100%, but yet in my clinical practice, I saw 0%. Now for you, my colleagues, do you have Demodex in your practice? A lot of my colleagues say, no, they don't see it at all. Well, if you have rosacea, then I will guarantee that you have Demodex in your practice. And the reason why I say this is because if you take a look at what the meta-analysis says, all across the board, of all the studies that they took a look at, they found that there was a direct link between Demodex and rosacea. So if you have rosacea, I will guarantee that you have Demodex. Another common condition that we see is blepharitis. It's very, very common. Now, I used to think that, let's say, this was the amount of blepharitis I would see, and this would be the amount of Demodex that was in blepharitis or that had blepharitis. Well, then again, I took a look at the studies. 63%, 88%, 97% of the patients that have blepharitis also have Demodex. I mean, these numbers are just off the charts. So if you have blepharitis in your practice, you also have Demodex. So how is it that you take a
轻哦，没有喐啊，停，OK，哦，反正咁鬼痕，呢啲呢啲係證據啊。
Happy ya siya, wala nang
Hindi ata,
Happy betul loh dia.
Dia ada six pack. Tengok.
Itu bapak dia.
一个 video 啊，一个是一个没啊，
那B啊，B啊，B 有啊，怎么分析啊？
那个是答案，
给你怎么控哦？给你有给一个小饼要吗？
什么奖品？哎呦，
不给你啊，
不要，太小了。
这个嘞，这个，
好，OK。
那个嘞，那个。